could have been a big franchise. Obviously it was in terms of resurrecting it. Why that didn't play out?
According to my lawyer, I'm supposed to say it's fantastic, and I don't know what went wrong. I'm just kidding. You know, Bionic Woman was amazing. The pilot was fantastic, and we all had a fantastic time doing it, and Michelle was great in it, and every piece fit well. It is a classic example of what not to do with a series. You know, there were a lot of changing of the guard happening at NBC at that time, and I think that when you have, and this is why I don't do network television anymore, when you have too many hands in the cookie jar, you just crumple them, because you can't get them out. And that's what they did with that show. They just, everyone put their hand in and they smashed everything that was good. And then when that happens, what are you left with? You know, and then they're chasing it, trying to, like, you know, figure out what to do with the crushed cookies, and at that point nobody cares, because, you know, so that's basically what happened, is that it was just too many people with too many different opinions. So.
Final question.
It's a very diplomatic answer. I'm so proud of myself.
No pressure.
Thank you, Tama. I'm learning in my old age.
It's probably a really bad final question, so I'm really sorry, everyone.
I don't care if it is, I'll just talk about something else.
Who did you prefer Cara with, Lee or Sam?
I'm turning red. You know, I liked her with Lee. It's a, you know, the whole Lee Cara Sam thing is a perfect example of the person you did love and the person you do love. And with Lee, this is a person she grew up loving. This is the man that she literally had a crush on her entire life. And she loved him so much, and then she got him and went, I'm not the same person anymore. Like, we don't fit. And then she meets this other guy, and she just goes, oh my God, it all makes sense. But I still love this other person, and I'm so confused, but I want to be here. And so you know, it was interesting for me, because it was just two completely different sides of her. One was this adolescent side that needed reassurance and needed somebody to put up with her, and the other side was somebody who didn't take her shit. And Sam didn't take her shit. Sam called her on it, and he loved her. Like, I mean, Sam loved her. And I think that it was the first person that she met that, because he didn't know her before, and through all the mistakes that she had made, he took her as the person that she was at that moment and said, I love you now, and I'm with you, you know, I'll grow with you. And with Lee, she had so much explaining to do that it was just too much water under the bridge. So, you know, I love them both as actors to work with, but, you know, it was just different. It was very different. And I like tall men, and Truco's really tall. So it was kind of fun to do those scenes, you know. I would go out with his wife after and be like, that's so great, I just spent the whole day with your husband in bed. Oh, you ever seen him today? Oh, he's good. See this rash? Yeah, he has a beard now. No, that just happened. He just grew in. Yeah, I'm sure he'll shave. Don't worry. I'll let you know, because I'm going to see him again tomorrow. Totally fine. I would all be making out with Jamie too, so I should probably call his wife. So it's fantastic. Oh, quick story. I do this all the time, I'm so sorry. So there's a scene with Jamie and James where this is like the first season of Battlestar Galactica, and I hadn't really ever done sex scenes before in my life, and so I'm doing this sex scene with Jamie and James, and it's the scene where she's having sex with Baltar, but she thinks it's Lee, or that whole thing in the beginning. Do you remember that? And number 6 is sitting there kind of watching the whole thing. So I'm doing this scene where you've got to basically sleep with 2 different men, and it's supposed to look the same, and they're supposed to have the same movements. So it was just me laying in a bed, and then did the scene with Jamie, and then the director goes, okay, Jamie, that's good. James, get on top of Katie! And Trisha's sitting there like this. The whole time. me Trisha, and every time I turned my head to, you know, give my O face, I'm staring at Trisha. And then I would look up, and I would literally, in another one of the paint moments, would be like, how did it come to this? You know? Oh, and another quick one, sorry. I'm almost done. The first sex scene I ever had to do was that, right? In the scene where she's having the flashback thing. And there's this thing called $5 Friday. First sex scene ever. I was so embarrassed that I had pasties on, and I didn't want anyone to look at my boobs, so I actually did a flower on this one, and then I drew on this one, are you looking at my breasts? And so I'm doing the sex scene, and it was fine, it was great, but I was very embarrassed. I actually might have a little tummy ache because I'd eaten something, so I was really embarrassed. However, $5 Fridays, when the entire crew goes around, writes their name on a $5 bill and puts it in a jar. And at the end of the day, somebody pulls out a $5 bill and whoever name is on it gets all the money. Fantastic, right? Okay, well sometimes there's ones and sometimes people put in change. So after that day, that sex scene's over, it happens to be Friday, and they happen to pull my name. So on that day, after my first sex scene, I'm walking off in a bathrobe feeling very much like a hooker, and then they paid me.